Hello, Foggies! How y'all going? I thought I would take a moment to introduce you to the Leadership Vision assignment for HSP406. As you know, this is the first UTAS submitted assignment for this particular unit. So, as in typical style, I have all of these daggy little graphics on the slides that I'm using to record this video, and hopefully you can find them above the video. They kind of summarize what you're doing for this one. You need to do a lot of thinking and personal reflection like Homer is. You need to think about the people that have influenced you as an ethical leader. And you put that together with reading about leadership theories, styles, models, however you want to think about it, that represent you as an ethical leader. And you put all of this together and hopefully churn out some sort of thing that represents a leadership vision. Now, although we've said, pop it into an essay format if you want, there's really no rules about how you set this one out. So if you've got any ideas, just get in touch with me and I can let you know if it's completely off the wall or not a bad idea and you can go ahead with it. All right. So, as I said before, this is the first of your UTAS submitted assessments for this particular unit. Your second one is the critical analysis of policy brief. And then your other three assessments are what we call hurdle tasks. Now, these are submitted and conducted at the residential or the face-to-face course that you do at the police academy. They are not weighted assignments, which means they don't count towards your final mark. And we don't mark them in a way that's ranked like the university does it. So your leadership vision and your critical analysis policy brief will be ranked and they are weighted at 50% each, but your hurdle tasks are just what's called their pass-fail assessments, which means you'll get a mark that says you've met the expectations or that you need development. So you can pass both of the university assignments in any way you like, but you also have to get through the hurdle tasks. So if you don't get through the hurdle tasks, you won't pass the unit. So it's really, really important that you get through those hurdle tasks and that you complete the university assessments as well. So your leadership vision is due on the due date, which is on the Milo site for you. It's a 2,000 word maximum and that excludes your reference list, okay? And it is weighted at 50% of your overall grade for the unit. So in this assignment, you are given the opportunity to think about, develop and ponder, I suppose, your own personal leadership vision. A leadership vision is sometimes called a leadership philosophy and it's highly personal, reflective and sometimes written task. And it will really help you to read about leadership theories, styles, models, whatever you want to call them. To read about people that inspire you, talk to people that inspire you, and chat to your mentors that have helped support you over the course of your career. Think about what you've appreciated about their styles as ethical police leaders. Once you've thought about all of these particular elements and you've done a bit of reading, then you need to put together your leadership vision, perhaps following an essay format, but again, that's a little negotiable. It should reveal your understanding of leadership theories and styles and reflect how these ideas underpin your future leadership practice as an ethical police practitioner. So how are your values linked to these things, for instance? Most importantly, I want you to imagine that you've just had a brief chat to the commissioner and they've said to you, you know what, you're a pretty awesome person and I'd like to consider you for a leadership role somewhere down the track. So I'm going to engage you in a form of mentoring. The first mentoring task is to write your leadership vision and that's why you're doing it. So you need to look at that nice VicPol language and style guide to get the really simple, clear language down pat. And you need to write it up in a way that's engaging so the commissioner is, caught by what you've had to say and they choose to engage you in a mentoring process. Sound good? Hopefully it does. And it makes it a little bit more exciting and useful for you. So it is a personal process, but you still need a bit of academic referencing because it is evidence-based when you walk through that process. So, suggested structure. I'm not convinced that a leadership vision should have a particularly rigid structure, but it is useful, I think, to have some sort of introduction at the start and some sort of conclusion at the end. So I've added those bits in, but how you structure your body is really up to you. And I've given you a series of questions that might help spur you on in this respect. So you've got your intro, you've got your conclusion, you've got your body in the middle of about 1,600 words, and of course you've got your list of references, which you just put at the end, and they are excluded from your overall word count. Most importantly, the questions to guide that bit in the middle. What does ethical leadership mean to you? How do your values shape your leadership? What sort of leader do you want to be in 5 years? And most importantly, how will you get there? What are you going to plan in order to get there? All of these types of things help make up your leadership vision. And it will help to think about people that have inspired you along the way. But these questions are not set in stone. If you've got a better question or even a better whole set of questions, please just get in touch with me and I'm happy to chat through it with you, because it's kind of a guinea pig moment. You're the first folks to be doing this, and we really like to get your thoughts about about how you'd like to structure it. So some overall tips for you for this particular task. Using first person language is totally fine. This is where you're saying, I have done this, I have done that. Be creative. This is personal and it shouldn't bore you, but don't forget that you're sending it to the commissioner. So you need to think about the type of language that you're using a little bit. You can't just be all talking about what you did on the weekend. There are many, many, many different models and leadership theories and styles and all of that sort of stuff, and they always talk about them interchangeably. So if you want to know about laissez-faire leadership styles, then put in laissez-faire leadership style model theory, so that all of the different hits in the internet and Google Scholar and your library databases will come up for you. There's a whole bunch of leadership styles, theories, whatever you call them, listed there in the slide that I'm talking through with you, and there's some others on the website for you too. Be sure to include specific discussion or examples about your own leadership or somebody else's leadership practice that's inspired you, so your links between the research and your personal discussion are clear, your personal examples. Make sure you have at least one reference per paragraph, that nice basic rule to follow, and check the rubric to see how many you need overall for the assignment task. As again, we've said before, we suggest you kind of follow the essay structure where you've got an intro and a conclusion, but that's not really set in concrete for this particular one. I have got some questions to get you thinking. This is not so much to guide your response, but to get you thinking. What is your core purpose as a leader? Why are you here doing what you do? Why would anybody want to be led by you? Who are your leadership role models? And what did you learn from them? Who's your inspiration? What 3-4 critical events in your life shaped your beliefs about leadership and how to do them and how not to do them? What do you know to be true about exceptional leaders? What do you believe about leading and motivating people? What values and principles are reflected in your plans, decisions, and actions when you're leading other people? What can people expect from you as a leader? What are your intentions and commitments? How do you set an example? And what do you expect from your people? All of these things will get you thinking about what you do as a leader, but most importantly, what you need to do as a leader down the track. So, for example, what are the other things that you might need to do? What are the ways that you need to develop? As I mentioned before, make sure you have a look at the VicPol Writing and Language Style Guide. Now, I know that this might seem like a trite, boring document to you all, but it is actually really helpful for just guiding your thinking around how to write in ways which are clear and straightforward and to the point. So have a brief scan. It's a pretty useful little document, and hopefully you'll find some tips in there to help you move forward, because the organisation is really keen for you folks to be using this style guide to manage the writing that you do into the future as leaders of Victoria Police. So it's pretty important. So we have a marking rubric for this assignment like every other assignment. And I have put some screenshots here for you in the slides. It says that you need to articulate your police leadership vision by drawing on leadership theories. And if you want to get a high distinction, this means you need a detailed, specific discussion of your police leadership vision, drawing on leadership theories. So what are the examples that you can give us? What are the theories and literature that you can link that to? Okay, that's nice, detailed, and specific. We've got also here detailed application of specific elements of 2 leadership theories to analyse your own leadership practice in terms of ethical leadership. So what types of theories are you going to draw on there, and how are you going to do it? Of course, we have some stuff about communicating persuasively, but this is a bit more truncated than the other assignments. We've just got fluent writing style, that sort of stuff. And if you choose to do a presentation or something, it'll be just fluent reading and presentation style. Grammar and spelling accurate, all of that sort of jazz. And 10 or more references to support your ideas, and making sure that your referencing is consistent. So you can see the stuff around introduction, body, conclusion, all of that's sort of fallen away for this one a little bit, because we're not expecting anything absolutely perfect. However, as per usual, structuring a general presentation or essay or whatever does need to have some sort of parameters, but we're not going to be like assessing you on that as such. So having an intro, a body, and a conclusion are a good idea for any written task or any presentation task. Anyway, that's it, folks, for me for now. If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch before you're sitting in a corner rocking back and forward about this assignment task. I hope that was helpful, and I'll talk to you all soon. See you later!